Coming to you live from the Shanghai Audi International Circuit here in Shanghai, China for round 4, season 5 of the Breakout Racing League top split. And Daniel Stevens alongside, what do you know, Dylan Beckwith in the booth here tonight, as things were a couple seasons ago. Good to have him back here tonight. And Dylan, how are you feeling about this season of BRL?
I'm extremely excited. It's great to be back. Got some new names in here, some very fast drivers as I hear it, and very excited for qualifying.
Yeah, well, we see a little bit of cloud cover here, potentially some rain coming as the session progresses. That could really throw a spanner in the works of some of these guys who are just practicing in the dry. Rain can really shake things up. And Max Stalo, I'm sure, he'd be ready for some rain here tonight. Very fast in the wet conditions, as we've seen numerous times in the past. Once again, this is round 4. We come off of the first 3 races of Australia, Bahrain, and Vietnam, the debut circuit right there. New Zealand Ryan sits atop the standings. What else is new? Second place BRL Pirandi, though, 6 points back, not very far away. So Ryan's really going to have to protect that lead tonight. He can lose it in a heartbeat. So Dylan, what do you think the idea here is for Pirandi to get around him? Does it all come down to qualifying, or can he get past him in the race?
I think qualifying is going to definitely be an important factor in this race. This track has been known to have some interesting battles, we'll call it that. So I think qualifying will definitely be important, but it's not going to be absolutely crucial to the race.
Yeah, well, speaking of this racetrack, it is one that you either love or hate, as many people will agree with. I, for one, love it. Not a very popular opinion. A lot of people hate this racetrack, but you will see there's a lot of troublesome corners, a lot of high-speed S sections, a lot of slow, snaily sections, a couple of those, in fact, turn 1, and then the corner leading out to the massive back straight here in the 3rd sector. And that massive back straight really shakes things up here when it comes to setup. You can either go for high downforce, which will really speed you up to the first 2, but the 3rd sector will slow you way down, where you'll see a lot of other guys run low downforce. What do you think the plan is tonight for that kind of setup, Dylan?
I think the setup is honestly just going to have to pertain to each driver and their specific needs. But yeah, honestly, I think it's going to come down to what people's preferences are, and just obviously how their pace is. That's going to determine their pace of the race.
Yeah, here comes Boss Cookie across the line right here to start his lap. Several other drivers out there as well. Ginger Horizon in his McLaren, number 12. Chandler Seda there in 6th place. Chandler off to a very meek start to the season, a 10th and a 6th place, followed, preceding the DNF that he had at Melbourne. Not the greatest start to the season for him. We're used to seeing him right up there at the front. Maybe he can get things turned around here tonight in his Alfa Romeo. He's on his lap right now, or he is coming through Sector 2. Bit wide right there, and as we should note, track limits, as we've said multiple times this season, very strict indeed. Very easy to get a lap time deleted here, so these guys are going to be very careful, aren't they?
Absolutely. I think that's going to be a very important part to this race. I think minimizing the amount of penalties you can get is definitely going to gain you some spots at the end of the race.
Here comes Chandler down that massive back straight. Got that DRS open, full speed right here. Going to be hard on the brakes right at the 100. Typically, you see them braking a lot sooner there in prior years, but this year the brakes are much quicker, much easier to slam on. Very late on the brakes indeed. Here he's coming through the final, trying to mount that curb on the left. Here he is coming across the line. What's it going to be? Top of the session, obviously. Only one across the line so far, 129.739. We'll see how that stacks up as Ginger Horizon comes across, but he definitely backed out of it right there. 3 seconds off of Chandler almost right there. Neymar, formerly EGC Sparky, here he is coming through turn number 1 to start his lap time. A lot of other guys about to cross the line to complete their times. Is there anyone we should keep our eye on here?
Obviously, I think New Zealand Ryan is going to be one to watch out for. Obviously, just has an incredible pace in these past races and just in general, so definitely one to watch.
Well, there's Pirandi, by the way, up in a second, but very far off the pace once again as well. Definitely not a respective time from him. Good chance he's possibly setting a bit of a dummy lap right there on the softs. These tires burn off very quickly at this racetrack and just in this game in general. We'll see if he slowed down so that he can throw on hards or mediums later in the session, and never mind, not hards, because apparently Codemasters says that you cannot qualify on hards anymore, so that's unfortunate for some of these drivers strategy-wise. But either way, that medium will always be an option for them. So let's see if anyone tries to put those on. So far, it looks like a lot of these drivers really are slowing down, like 132s, 133s on that red wall. But Chandler did a 129.7 on that red tire, so very odd. I mean, it really just looks like they're all getting, they're giving a half-ass lap right here, Dylan.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think it's also, we got to pay attention to the weather here. As you said earlier, we might have some rain, or obviously we might just have some bad track conditions later on. So I think it's going to be important to get at least a couple fast laps early on.
Turning on that full track map and the tire detail for you viewers back at home. See the best time that they have set and what tire that has been set on. All softs so far, but as we were saying, only one of those appears to be a respective lap time, that being Chandler at the top. Neymar looking to come across. Never mind, he actually invalidated his lap time. Oh, and there, look at that. Racing Point, BR Williams up into second place, 131.1 right there. Actually, purple sector 3 for him, so maybe the first two sectors weren't the best or just slowed down. Third was very quick, though, so let's see what he can do later on in the session with that pace that he has. That tells me he's running low downforce.
Yeah, I think it's going to, like I said, it's going to be determined through each driver what their preferences are. I think the low downforce might be the way to go. We know there's just some long straights here. So if they can manage that car through the corners, that's going to be their best option.
Yep, a lot of drivers still in the pits right now, including B-Dunk, who's having a very humble start to the season himself. 8th, 7th, and 7th to start this season. We typically see him a bit higher up, around 4th and 5th, but adapting to that no line this season, I'd say he's been doing a very solid job right there. Not too far off of where he was a season ago, especially with the fact that we added some very, very high-quality drivers.
For sure. I think we have some serious talent in this field, and it's going to be a very fun race to watch.
Well, HRC, looks like something's going on right here. The pit entry was very much off the line right there behind João Pedro, who won the season opener at Melbourne, but did not make the race a week ago at Vietnam, so he's got some work to do to get back to where he started. 4th place at Bahrain, a solid finish, but he's going to have a lot more work to do if he wants to challenge New Zealand Ryan at Pirandi. Missing that race really seems to have cost him here. Already 24 points behind the top after just 3 races, so he's got a long way to go. Obviously, only round 4 here of 22, but still, any points lost is not something you're going to want to take.
Yeah, points are important. I think it's going to come down to the wire. We got so many drivers and so much talent here. I think it's going to be a very, very hard championship to win.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, last season, we kind of needed this. Last season, New Zealand Ryan, I think he had it locked in, I think, with 3 rounds left to go. He had already mathematically won this thing. So good to see a lot of drivers in here that can take it to him, especially those 2 Brazilians of João Pedro and Pirandi. Now taking a look at Max Stalo coming through the middle sector in his Red Bull. Looks to be hooking these corners up rather well. Comes over to the right side to turn in for the left-hander. That cuts to a left-hand kink right here, trying to not go too wide. Doesn't use any exit curve. Very respective of the track limits indeed. Coming to the Sector 3 split right here. Looks like a very solid, clean lap here for him, but sometimes the cleanest laps are the ones that are the fastest, so it's not all about looking fast, is it?
Not at all. I mean, I think we got Chandler Seda on the second last lap here. He had an interesting last corner. There was a car off to the right of him that he had to avoid, so that might have slowed him down a little bit.
All right, good to know. Well, here comes Max, hard on the brakes right there. A little bit of a lockup on the right front, not much, and he actually backs out of it right here. So potentially back, yeah, looks like he's giving up on this lap. Slowing down and giving it gas again. I think he's trying to go for another lap right here. I think he wasn't satisfied.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very strategical qualifying as we're rolling down. We only got about 9 minutes left.
Oh, here comes Dralix through here, Sector 1. But yes, Max did slow down. Appears to be going for another lap right here. This game is a bit more forgiving with the battery, I believe, on the hot lap setting. If you slow down and make that decision soon enough, you can give another run at it on the same set once you go out on the racetrack. So it looks like he's going to go for Dralix way off the racetrack. A huge bobble through the kink right there. You folks saw it right there. And yes, he's going to have to back out of it right here as he approaches the Sector 3 split. Unfortunate for him, but so far it seems we really don't have anyone going full throttle here when it comes to their outright pace. Still a lot of guys way slower than Chandler.
Yeah, it looks like Chandler is pretty much the only one to set a quick lap time here. I mean, we got a pretty sizable gap to second. Hopefully that'll close by the end stages of this qualifying.
There's a Ferrari right there. I think there was Neon Tree Dome in the grass a little bit coming on.
Yeah,
he's just out of the pace, trying to get out of the way. Yeah, that was a bit odd from him. Yeah, just appears to be getting out of the way of some of these guys right here. Neymar starting another lap right here. Boss Cookie's left the session. Gonna try and shoot him an invite here in a second. It's like when he went out on the racetrack, he went out on mediums, aside from everyone else right there. Didn't set a lap, though. Only went out on them, came back in. HRC on a lap right here. He's yet to have set one. A lot of drivers still not to have set a lap. 12th on back. We got, I think that's 8 drivers right there who have not set a lap time. With 7 minutes, 20 seconds left, that's not something you usually see.
Not at all. I think this is going to come down to the wire here. People are going to be scrambling to get laps in at the end.
Should we be looking for that 2-minute 30-second window as we usually do? And actually, HRC just set a purple middle sector right there, so maybe a sleeper right here. Late in the session, halfway through, past actually. Here he is setting a purple middle sector. Let's see what this lap is going to do for him. Tells me he's running a little bit higher down for some of these guys, which means this could be a slower sector for him. Coming down the third. See how late he goes on the brakes right here, past the 100, I would assume. And yes, he goes at I'd say maybe the 80. That was really late on the brakes right there. Definitely running a bit more wing than some of our competitors we've seen so far. See if he commits this lap. Yes, he does. No, he goes super wide through the final corner. Misses it by a good car width. That's really going to hinder him. But he still goes up to second. That could be part of the fact that a lot of these guys are definitely sandbagging here, but still very wide. Not going to be satisfied with that.
There's Neymar.
Goes up to second, 130.1, yeah. Get a moment to take this in right here. We now have 15 drivers who have set a lap time. João Pedro as well, but that's also a very slow banker. These guys just getting an understanding for the grip levels on the racetrack before they throw on those mediums, because it's going to be a bit more of a struggle when you're on that harder rubber. Not as easy to get down on the power, so it's a good idea to go out there and understand what the track feels like. As B-Dunk actually is the first one to make the lap on the yellow wall. Yes, there he is up in 4th place, 130.5. 1.1 seconds off of Chandler's. That's actually not too bad when you compare softs to mediums, if you ask me.
Not at all. I think that's going to be the tire to get used to, as you said. I think it's going to be, it's going to come down to whoever can wear their tires correctly and pretty much just like have the better strategy overall. So that's going to be very important to this race.
Well, Ginger Horizon's also out there on his mediums, but he has actually invalidated his lap. He's going to have to back out of it right here. Hopefully it didn't do too much damage to those tires. You don't want to put too much wear on him for that second run, obviously. See what he does here. He's currently in 10th place, 132.4, but he's got to look how close these times are, especially with the sandbagging that we have seen. You can lose a lot of positions if you don't get that last lap in. I mean, you could easily be starting down in 19th if some of these guys put in respective times based off of the one that he set early. So he's going to want to get in there, get those tires cooled off and set and ready to go for that final run right at the end. Not too many other guys out here right now. DRC Jarrett is actually, and he's actually invalidated that lap as well. So a lot of invalidations already.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see who can get Chandler if he's going to stay at the top here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool to see Chandler go on pole after the 3 races before this weren't too very fruitful for him, as we mentioned earlier. Really going to want to get things going here tonight. Pole would always be a good way to get that kicked off, but still a long way to go in this session. 4 minutes, and we know how fast things can change. We've seen it many times before. Pole sitter can come across the line after the session is over, so anything can happen here. Tupalicious is on his lap out on the mediums. Didn't even set a lap time on the softs. So this is his first time out on the racetrack, actually getting those warmed up as he actually slides off the track, and he's on the grass right there, possibly getting out of the way of João Pedro, actually. Mextalo coming through turn 2 right here, down in 18th, also hasn't set a lap time either. He did come out, though. We saw that earlier, just invalidated it and bailed, came into the pit lane. He's on his mediums, all these guys on their mediums so far. Do you think anyone is actually going to try and start on these softs, Dylan?
I think it's going to be hard to tell. I think we're just going to have to wait. I think it's definitely going to be a bold strategy. I think it's going to be an interesting one of that. But like we said, I think a little bit of rain could change all this.
Yeah, I think Chandler's committed. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to beat the time he set on the mediums unless he really did sandbag. But he's that much faster than the others. I don't think he sandbagged.
No, I mean 6/10 is a pretty sizable gap even in this stage.
Yeah, well, here comes Hoopalicious now. He's on his lap timer here. Let's ride on board, why don't we, in his Red Bull, coming through turns 1 and 2. Sweeping down to the left. This is a very tough corner to get the power down. Does a good job at it, though, on his medium tires. Coming to the kink to the right. Hard on the brakes. A little bit of grass there in the kink, actually. That might affect his braking, but no, looks like he got it slowed down rather well. Hoopalicious, one of the top 4 at Melbourne that ended up having a poor result due to a missed braking point. Once again, a lot of these drivers getting used to that new rule of no racing line allowed. That caught out Hoopalicious in week 1, but he's been rallying back so far here in round 4. Looks like a good lap so far coming through sector 2, about to connect to sector 3. This is looking pretty good for him.
Yeah, like you said, I think that that racing line is definitely something to get used to. I can tell you from experience. You start to rely on that sort of thing and just kind of use it as your guy line, and it's very hard to break the habit.
Yeah, well, here he is coming down that long straightaway. He's going to be braking around that 100-meter marker, but in this game it is very different getting on the brakes on the softs versus the mediums a little bit before the 100, yes, because it takes a little bit longer to slow those tires down, but here he is. Good exit right there for Hoopalicious. This is going to be a solid lap time. I'd expect possibly top 5 out of this. Let's see, though. Went out of the final, doesn't invalidate, comes across the line. What's it going to be? 5th place, bang on, top 5, 130.526. Just edges out Vidunk right there, but not good enough to get past Pirandi, who's less than a 10th faster.
Yeah, these times are starting to climb down slightly more and more, and now the gap is going to be shrinking, hopefully to Chandler in the coming minutes.
The HRC out there on another set of softs, about to get his final run going. He's committed to that softest tire here. Once again, it can be very difficult to do a 1-stop. I'm assuming he's planning on doing the 2-stop, as is Chandler and Neymar. Also on those red walls. Very tough to get those at least halfway through the race. It's going to be very difficult for those guys to do it. Expect a 2-stop from those red walls. Either way, going to take a look down through the field right here. A lot of these guys are coming across to complete that lap. 55 seconds left. Some guys are actually going to be starting their lap times here right before the death of the session. Here comes Mean Fern. So he's got his mediums on. He's going to try and beat his banker that he set on those softs of a 131.289. A little bit of a lockup right in there. Not too bad, though. Here he is coming up to the final. What's this going to be for Mean Fern? Hopefully a good result here for him as he actually cuts the corner and invalidates it. That could really hurt him here because he could fall all the way down to last if these guys set a respective time.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for him. Just turned in a little bit too early there.
Mextalo up to 7th. How about
look at that?
7th for him. Williams in 8th right there. Let's see if he can improve. I think he had 2 sets of mediums. He set his first lap earlier. Let's see if this is a second set. Coming around the final corner, he invalidates on the exit. That's going to kill that run. These invalidations are hurting these guys right at the end. Really easy to run wide on that final corner. As we've said, invalidations are killer in this year's game, and it's really starting to show once again here tonight at China. Final corner, wiping out a couple of these drivers' lap times. Mextalo looks like he's settled right here. Hoopalicious also done. HRC is on another lap, though, on his softs. I mean, what do you think? He'd get around Chandler here?
I don't know. It might be kind of hard. We also got Pedro on a lap here on the mediums. He won't be able to touch him, but I think it'll be interesting to see if HRC can get past Chandler.
Yeah, and how about Pirandi, by the way, splitting some of these soft runners on his mediums, currently 3rd. If HRC can get around him, that'll... Oh, actually looks like HRC is going to back out right here and give up on that lap. I don't think he was happy. I think he was too far down to improve. We are coming through the final sector right here for Hoopalicious. Do you think he's done? Actually, looks like he might actually be doing another lap right here. It's a bit odd. It doesn't say it's an out lap. It says 0 laps, so I think this is legitimately another lap time here for Hoopalicious. Not too sure. We'll see as New Zealand Ryan goes up to 3rd on his mediums. How about that? It's actually his teammate of Jared has wrecked across the line.
Oh, he's
Mercedes stranded on the... Yeah, that could catch some of these guys out. Hopefully it doesn't. He's... Yeah, look at that. There actually is another car involved in that.
Right in the middle hole.
That's a bit frightening for some of these guys. Mean Fern, that's it for him. 15th place. Didn't improve on those softs. I mean, on his soft time, on those mediums. Once again, he invalidated a minute ago coming out of the final corner. Neon Treedome down at 16th. Not going to be satisfied with that. And I think that is going to do it for the session. Jared's throwing a spanner in the works right there for some of these guys coming up across the line.
Wow. That's very interesting qualifying. Obviously, no one able to touch Chandler.
Yeah, well, I mean, he set that. I have never seen that where the first lap that has been set in the session
Very
goes
impressive.
on pole. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he is on those softs, but still, I mean, the track ripped up a lot as the session went on. He didn't go out again, so that was it right there for him, right at the beginning.
Yeah, he put that first lap in.
You don't see that every day.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Neymar was lucky to get close to him. He was like pretty much the only driver. He was within a couple tenths there, but yeah, I mean, he's pretty much in a world of his own at this point.
It could be very interesting to see what those two could do, though, because sure, they'll have the pace the first few laps, but as these tires wear out, they're really going to be falling into the clutches of the medium runners behind them, so that'll be something exciting to follow for you viewers back at home. Get ready for those front two to slow down big time, I'd say maybe by like lap 5 or 6, because those softs really get cooked around this racetrack. But anyways, your top 3 in qualifying, the podium starting positions. Chandler Seda at that 129.4 on the softs. BRL Neymar also on softs, 129.6. Rounding out that top 3 is New Zealand Ryan on his mediums, 130.2. And Dylan, are you excited for this one? First race of the season here.
I'm very excited. Obviously, we got a mishmash of strategies here. I think New Zealand Ryan's got the best shot of getting that first place here in this race if that strategy works out for him.
I mean, look at how close he was with Pirandi right there. 0.847 to 0.878. That's about less than 300ths of a second they were separated by. So those two are as close as you like. Don't think it's going to be entirely a deal done for Ryan if he gets around those front two. Pirandi's going to be hounding him the whole way, as he has shown Pirandi finishing in 4th, 1st, and 2nd so far this season. Ryan just edging him out with a little bit more consistency, podiuming in all 3 races, 2nd, 2nd, 1st. So that's the difference between those two. Let's see who can get that 4th or 3rd podium tonight, depending on either driver's positioning here. But either way, it's our time where we pick our ones to watch and our picks to win the race. So, Dylan, who do you think is going to win, and who do you think our viewers should keep their eye on?
I think my bet is on New Zealand Ryan. He's had a good streak. He's a fast driver. There's no doubt about that. I think he's the one to watch.
All right, so he's both your one to watch and the one to win the race.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right, awesome. All right, cool. Session's starting here at 25 seconds. That's when the clock will hit 0 for the formation lap. They'll start putting around here. For myself, I'm gonna put the highlight here on B-Dunk tonight. He said that his qualifying pace was going to be better than his race pace, but still got a feeling he's going to shake things up a little bit here.
All right, respectable.
McLaren.
Respectable.
Yeah, I mean, see what he can do. As for my one to win the race, it's tough to go against Ryan, but Pirandi, man, he's right there.
He does have the pace.
I got a feeling he's going to get this done here tonight. But once again, another overcast start to the session here. We could definitely see some rain as the race progresses. That'll make things interesting for these guys, especially for those ones starting on the softs. If rain does come, they would have to hope that it comes after the mediums die out on the drivers that are starting on those tires.
Yeah, that would definitely throw a wrench into everyone's plans. I think it's going to be hard to say when the rain's coming, but if it does, it's definitely going to make some people very unhappy.
Yep, well, once again, Daniel Steve alongside Dylan Beckwith, if you're just tuning in here. Things are about to get going green here from the Shanghai Audi International Circuit. See right there, Chandler Seda will lead things off from the front of the grid, and Neymar alongside them, both on their red wall tires of the softs. Behind them, it's all yellow, Sea yellow, medium tires. So keep an eye on that strategy as the race progresses. I'm excited for this one. Not usually a track where you see the greatest of racing, but there's always some excitement when it comes to differing strategies as we see here tonight. Season ago, that wasn't Mextela, it was Alderford Jr. qualified on softs to take pole here at China. And those tires burned out in, I think, a total of 2.5 laps, and he fell like a rock. So let's hope the same fate doesn't happen to these two guys. Do you think they can hold on to it here?
I think it's going to be tough to say. I think one of the other factors that we talked about earlier is those cut track violations. Those are going to be a play big part in this race. Oh, where's that?
Sorry, we have a spin right there. I think that's BRL Williams in the Racing Point. He's going around. Yes, that is him. That's not going to be good for those tires. Those are the tires he's going to be starting on, putting some additional wear on them, possibly overheating as well, not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we are coming up to the final moments right here. Dylan, any words of wisdom you've got for our viewers before we get this thing going?
Well, I want to see some close racing. I hope that's what is going to happen. I think, like you said, Pirandi and New Zealand Ryan are very close in pace. I think that's going to be an epic battle.
For any of you interested on the NASCAR race, by the way, William Byron just won.
Wow.
He has just gotten his first career win at Daytona. Oh, God, I don't know how that'll end up for Jimmy Johnson here. We'll find out in about an hour, possibly, once this session's over, but we got to focus on the now. So here we go. Drivers lining up in their grid spots. Boss Cookie's the final one to get in that grid, and we are ready to get things going momentarily here from Shanghai. All right, there we go. All 19 of the drivers are in their positions. Lights are going to be coming on here momentarily. Actually, no. What's happened? Oh, nope, there they are. Bit of a stall out right there, but now the lights are coming on ahead of the drivers. All 5. And it's time to bring the action from Shanghai. A stall out there for a Williams. A VSR Dralix, terrible for him. He's falling like a rock before they even get to the first corner. Chandler Seda clear by a mile ahead of Neymar. He's going to have it easily covered off as they come through turns 2 and 3. Here they are coming down the hill right there, almost 3 wide. A lot of ghost cars right there. Something weird is iffy. Something's iffy going on right here. There was a lot of ghosting off the line. But here we are coming down to the Sector 1, Sector 2 split. Chandler Seda is your leader. Not too sure why it's saying Mex Stalo's up top. Ignore that right there. It is the Alpha of Chandler. And now things are cycled back out on the timetables on the left. Don't worry about that. New Zealand Ryan there in third. And on the bottom, you can see the predicted stop strategy right there. I don't know who in their right mind would do either of those strategies. But either way, the bottom one at least, that was crazy. But either way, here we are coming up to the Sector 2, Sector 3 split. Very clean start. Aside from VSR Dralix, I think he went into Andy's stall. Almost looked like he just couldn't get it in gear off the line.
Yeah, lucky your man. Budonk already up 2 spots. That's great for him. We got Hoopalicious right behind him.
Yeah, how about that? Well, here we are coming down onto that massive back straightaway. Chandler Seda, your leader, as mentioned. Neymar already trying to break the slipstream there of New Zealand Ryan. Weaving all over the place. 4th place behind is Pirandi. Kind of just lurking right now, but we could see some moves here. Budonk a little bit under pressure from Hoopalicious, but no, Hoop decides better of it not to send it up the inside. Behind him is HRC, though, so things could get shaky here in a second. Oh, and Mex Stalo has joined, so I think he disconnected. That's what happened. Yeah. He disconnected off the start, and that just glitched him up to the lead. Stalled out the lights a little bit, but looks like we're good to go here. Unfortunate for him, though, down in dead last. What has happened to Chandler Seda?
I think it's just a glitch.
Nothing's happened. Yeah, that's just a glitch. Oh, jeez, Codemaster, you can't be doing this to me. Either way, he is still your leader. Don't you worry about that. Neymar still second. Right on board Ryan right here. He's right behind that Haas. This is going to be tough for him, these opening few laps, but just a little bit of patience, and he's going to have the overall better long-run pace than that car ahead, thanks to the tire selection he made in qualifying. Brandy still lurking back a little bit, not too close to these two, but if they keep racing like they are, right, nose to tail through these high-speed sectors, he's going to catch right up. Yellow flag is out. I think Boss Cookie's around, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so Boss Cookie has gone around. That's not good for him. Down to 19th. Not too sure where he started. Do you have that intel, Dylan? Where did he start?
I think it looks like he started in 19th because of that. Because he did have that qualifying issue, I remember.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Well, let's go see the pit stop strategies again. Still don't. Thank you, AWS, for that bottom one right there. Medium, soft. Okay, all right. Let's go look at Ginger the action right here. Neon Tree Dome's under pressure here for VSR Dralix, who had his rough start, and yes, he's going to be able to get alongside and pass the Ferrari without issue. Look at a Ginger Horizon, as you said. He's got a wonderful view here of HRC and Ham Newton going at it right there. Did Ham just get the move done on HRC, or was he poking a look right there? Oh, as he actually runs wide.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Ginger Horizon's going to get alongside right here.
Up 8 spots by lap 3.
Wow, how about that? Well, here he is now going up into 9th place past HRC, who's not having the greatest of starts. I mean, HRC's on those softs. He needs to capitalize now, and he just seems to be going backward.
Yeah, it's going to be very important to get ahead of these cars if he wants the strategy to work out for him.
Well, here's Ham Newton now in 8th place, off to a solid start right there, getting around the Ferrari. Now the yellow flag once again. I think it's another Boss Cookie incident.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Is he spun? Oh, yep, he's retired from the session. So that's it for Bosco. It looks like he came in the pits and retired, so that there is no VSC or safety car deployed right here. A VSC, I think, would really help out these soft runners. They're going to want something like that to bunch the field back up due to the tire wear that they're going to be dealing with here very shortly, but that's not what they're going to get. Neymar really starting to hold things up right here. Is this just his pace, or do you think those softs are already going off here?
It doesn't look like he's really in a rip. I think he's got to put his head down and just get some clean laps once all this stuff calms down.
Well, I hope he can get those clean laps in behind the Mercedes New Zealand Ryan, because there he is, powering his way up into second right there. Pirandi closing in once again. DRS was activated this time by, so a lot of these guys are starting to deploy that rear wing. This will be the second lap running of the DRS. Chandler's 1.4 seconds ahead of Ryan, so he's got the gap that he needs right now, but how long will that gap stay is the question. Pirandi now pressurizing the Haas of Neymar down the front straight, but Neymar also has the DRS on Ryan very early on the brakes right there, Dylan.
Yeah, that was a close call right there. I'm glad he didn't hit the rear end of him.
Yeah, that would surely have been front wing damage and a pit stop for Pirandi. Luckily for him that didn't happen, but Neymar once again had the DRS on Ryan, really making it tough for Pirandi to get alongside and pass right there. So he's going to have to wait till next time potentially. Hoopalicious behind these guys in fifth, having a good start to his race. And Bidonk has actually lost one of those positions that he gained, but still, as long as you're in this slipstream train, I think he's got a chance of finishing in a good spot here if he just continues the way he's been going.
For sure, I think he's definitely on the easier strategy to pull off with most of the field running on the mediums. I think we got to look at HRC with his strategy, and we can probably put that in perspective with Neymar and Cieta.
Yeah, well, Jared has joined back. Looks like Jared actually disconnected. Wasn't aware of that. He has joined back right now. Not good for him, down in 16th place after the wreck in qualifying. Not a good night for him so far. Take a look at the battles right up here. It looks like Pirandi is going to be getting close to Neymar here. Yes, in that slipstream, looking to the right side. Going to send it down the inside here of Neymar. Hard on the brakes, and he gets him done and dusted down the inside, right past that Haas. Good move right there. Very textbook overtake down the inside. Hard on the brakes.
Yeah, I think that was important for him to get around, and probably not the best thing for Neymar. He's fallen back a little bit, and I think he's going to want these positions in the early stages, like we said.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost two right here. He's going to have a mirror full of Hoopalicious. He already does. Hoop is actually looking to the right side here through turn one. Very advantageous, but he gets off the throttle a little bit. There's actually a slight bit of contact right there. Not enough to break his wing. Oh, his Hoop actually loses the back end. Big save right there for him. That easily could have been a spin. And yes, yellow flag is out. Not too sure what for. It doesn't appear that there are any cars in Sector 3.
Looks like... Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, nothing going. Yeah, sorry about that. It's like there's a bit of an visual glitch right there. As for the soft tires, though, I think their time is already running out. Chandler is under pressure already from Ryan here on lap 5. A little bit longer than Helder for a year ago, but still not too long. These tires are going for Chandler. 4/10 now between he and Ryan. I think Ryan's is going to soar past him here.
I think, well, yeah, that's a very much a possibility.
Oh, he actually runs wide, though.
Oh, let's see.
Yep, here he is, looking on the right side. DRS open, nothing of the sorts for Chandler in defense. Just going to get out of the way, and yes, clear before they even get to the braking zone. Ryan is your leader, and Dylan, your pick to win the race is in good position right here.
I think
got himself a car.
We got rain coming down. I think it's a little too early to call. I think this is going to be...
Oh, is there? Yes, there it is. Yep. Rain is falling.
I think this is... That's good that Ryan got in front of him, but I think this is very much too early to call. This rain is definitely going to have an effect on these strategies.
Yeah, I think this is actually still the putting on those softs for Chandler and Neymar. I think that is a really good idea, because I think their reasoning here was they thought the rain would come in enough time that they can get the one stop to that intermediate pit stop on the softs before them burning out too much, that they could stay out on track, but also have track position and be higher up than they think they would be if they were on pace with everyone else on those mediums.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the strategy they're going for. If that can work out for them, I think that is going to put them right at the top and hopefully help out Neymar a little bit down there in 6th.
I mean, getting passed by Ryan isn't the end of the world. I don't think Chandler's plan was to win the race, but just being up front is something that he needs.
Pits took a HRC put on the intermediate tires already down at 17.
Already? That's a bit early. But taking a look at Ginger Horizon right here, he's sending it up the inside of Ham Newton. That's not normally an overtaking zone. Looks like he's gotten it done, though. He forces Ham Newton. Oh, that's awful, man. I know that curve way too well, and Ginger put Ham right on that curve. There is no grip right there. It pulls you all the way off. And I don't think Ham's going to have any chance at fighting back right here, as actually Ginger goes after Neymar for another position here. 2 spots in 1 sector on 1 lap. That's good stuff there from Ginger.
Look at that. Oh, he taps Neymar. He got him a little loose. That was could have been a spin there almost. That was light contact, but at a very poor time.
Yeah, light contact with Ham right there. Light enough that he doesn't have any front wing damage is good for him. But we're seeing some other guys coming in the pits right here. One of the big guns, João Pedro. Here's his Renault coming in the pits lane. I would expect those green wall intermediates. Let's see. And yes, that is what he's going to be putting on that race car. He looks like he's the second so far to be running those intermediates, aside from HRC. Still looks a bit early for the fact that Ryan didn't pit.
I agree. I think HRT is going to have a hard time as well later on. If this does end up being a good strategy, I think his inners are going to wear out much quicker.
And Parandi has actually just gotten past Chandler right there, so that mode of defense that Chandler was providing for Ryan is now gone. But Ryan was able to extend the gap to 2.5 on Parandi, so that's good stuff from him. As Chandler runs wide right there, he's struggling on those worn softs in the slick rain.
Yeah, I think this is going to be time to pit here soon for those soft guys.
Yep, I mean, we've seen medium runners already come in of João Pedro. I mean, I don't think it's a matter of tire wear anymore. Looks like it's just the rain is a bit too heavy for these dry walls, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. If Ryan stays out another lap right here, I wouldn't be too surprised because the track doesn't look that damp. I think that the intermediate running already for João Pedro and some of those others is just a gamble at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think if he can last one more lap, I think that's going to be ideal. Not too many puddles for me, and it just looks like it's a little bit damp, as you said.
Good intel right there as, Ryan stays up for another lap as Mean Fern and Neymar are going at it right here. Neymar has just been falling behind since the start of the race. It actually looks like he now goes into the pit lane right here. Yes, he and Dralix both coming in the pits right here. Look at Dralix trying to do a Vettel right there, trying to pass him on the pit entry. Doesn't work out, though. And here they are coming down to their stalls right here. Expect those intermediates on their car as well. We'll get that tire detail up for you guys at home right now. You can now see that right there. Currently 5 runners on those intermediates, 2 of which have just pitted, as we just noted, of Neymar and Dralix. Up front, though, Ryan is actually extending the gap here on Parandi. It's up to 3.2 now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be important for him. If he ends up coming in on this lap, I think that's going to be, that extra time is going to be crucial.
Now, what do you think the chances are that this rain actually stops before the end of the race? Any possibility of seeing those dries again?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a possibility of seeing the dries. I mean, the rain right now isn't too heavy.
Oh, geez, sorry to interrupt there. Hoopalicious sending it here on Chandler Seda. That was almost contact, but good by him to get on the brakes.
Yeah, look at that. That's a little bit of a... Oh, getting a little loose there, Hoopalicious. And Beadle is actually going for the move there. Yeah, he does get it done. Actually, they're side by side.
Well. I'm saying, Hoopalicious is trying to get back alongside B-Dunk right here, but B-Dunk has been doing a good job of capitalizing on some of the action that's been happening in front of him. Oh. Sorry for your ears, by the way. Looks like B-Dunk has the engine glitch as Hoopalicious sends it, and B-Dunk, oh no.
Look on the outside.
Yeah, Hoopalicious sent it on Chandler. It made Chandler compromise his line, go to the right a little bit, and that caused contact with B-Dunk. Nothing B-Dunk could have done right there. Just an innocent bystander. Fortunate for him, but it looks like they're all coming to the pits right here, including B-Dunk, as he actually almost loses it on entry. Loses another spot to BRL Williams. Man, that's really unfortunate for B-Dunk.
I would be so mad right there. Yeah, that was just absolutely nothing he could do. I mean, he's gonna be mad now. He's gonna drive like, oh, they're actually double stacking there. But yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be fuming. He's gonna try and get out there as quick as he can.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone in particular he can be upset with. That was just a racing deal of Hoopalicious just trying to get to the left side of Chandler, the outside of that hairpin. That just caused everyone to compromise the corner. B-Dunk was just sat with nothing to do on the inside. See if he can recover from that. Down in 12th right here, coming out of the pits, and he's respectively up in 5th place, I believe. So he's got some work to do.
Yeah, you got Ryan ahead of Peroni by about a second there. Yeah, the Glab's coming down.
Is Deer Hunter in second on hards right now? Am I seeing this correctly?
You are. He is gonna need a pit. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. But you know what? Whatever floats his boat. You know, he's sitting in third, so I can't really be talking.
I mean, the DRS was just disabled. I mean, that just solidifies there is no grip anymore for these dry tires. He's still out there on them.
Look at that.
He's all over the shop right here. Not good for Deer Hunter. Strategy is a little bit questionable tonight, but let's see if he can. See if he blows our mind and wins this race. You never know. Not looking too good so far for him, though. Hoopalicious is coming up to him very quickly right there. Yeah, I don't know. Chandler there in 5th place. I'd say this gamble of starting on those softs is working well for Chandler right here. His first 3 races weren't particularly to his liking, as we said. Running up here in 5th is a good change for him.
Yeah, I mean, starting on the pole was obviously very good for him. I think depending on how long this rain stays, we'll see how far I can get up.
Well, he actually had a bit of a scruffy exit right there on the final. Ginger Horizon getting very close, potential of making a move, but now it looks like he stalled out his momentum a little bit right there. Possibly the overtake
penalty.
Oh, yeah. Is that surprisingly one of the first penalties we've seen tonight? Typically you see a lot more in this year's season, but looks like not too many so far. B-Dunk, though, he's got already enough work to do after this half spin. Now he's got a penalty to deal with that as well, so unfortunate for him. But his teammate up here in 5th really shaking things up with Chandler. Actually, in front of them, Hoopalicious is actually getting closer to the pictures. We now have a spin. Is that Deer Hunter?
Yep.
Yes, that is Deer Hunter. He's going off in turn 1. So.
And he's on the greens.
Yeah, he is on the intermediates now. He was the last of the runners to pit for those intermediates, and he's actually in the pause menu right now. Please don't retire on track. And looks like he's still going to keep rolling right here. Good sportsmanship there from Deer Hunter, not to bail out of it right there. But either way, Mex Stalo is the only one behind him. That's due to his disconnection off the line at the start of the race. Unfortunate once again for him if you're just tuning in. But New Zealand Ryan looks like he's just cruising right now. The interval has appeared to just disappear on the left side of the screen. Not too sure what's going on with that. Yeah, I mean, we've just got to guess. You know, we've got a yellow flag, sector 1. Oh, no, it's green again. It looked like a late reaction for the Deer Hunter go-around, but either way, Ryan is your leader. B-Dunk and Neymar appear to be going at it right here. Yes, they are. Neymar all over the back end of B-Dunk. Going to sweep to the left side, side by side, coming up to the braking zone. Harder on the brakes goes Neymar, but B-Dunk rolls out of the pedal a little bit and gets back alongside, down the inside, and gets that position back right there. So some good defensive work right there from the McLaren.
Yeah, Pedro might be able to capitalize on this if they keep battling like this. Yep, look at that.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Well, hold on. B-Dunk was able to get around Pedro then, because I know B-Dunk was behind that Renault when he came out of the pits.
Yep.
Possibly João Pedro just not the greatest in the rain, but as you said, they are scuffling it up right in front of him. He could get alongside these guys if they make a mistake.
Yep, he's right there behind Neymar. If he could, he might be able to make a move in this next sector if he gets the opportunity.
Looks like a good exit for B-Dunk right there. Yeah, he's really going to gap Neymar. Neymar did not have the greatest exit himself. Yeah, Pedro not close enough to get alongside, though, so he's going to have another sector to breathe, at least. He's all over his gearbox, though.
Yeah, B-Dunk with the newest tires out of that group.
All right, Delta is back. There we go. You can see the intervals now. New Zealand Ryan's extended that gap even more, now to 4.08. It was about 3.4 last time we had the data available to us. Hoopalicious 7.5 seconds behind them, so it doesn't look like there's much. Oh, another yellow flag right there, possibly for Mex Stalo. Looks like, yeah, he's the only one in that area, but he's not round. He's chugging along just fine right here, so not too sure why we keep getting those phantom yellows in the first corner. A bit odd, but we'll have to deal with, I guess. I don't know. Not too much going on right now, though. Looks like these guys are kind of settling things out. Closest battle we have is João Pedro to Neymar, and Neymar has actually extended the gap big time right there, 7/10. So it looks like João Pedro has that overtake engaged right now. He's really closing in on the Haas. He's coming in really hot, but he's not going to be able to get anywhere near close enough to make a move. Hard enough to get down the inside there, and even harder when it's raining. Now see, yeah, these guys still 5/10 apart right there. B-Dunk back to Neymar, back to Zhao Pedro. Actually, B-Dunk with an excellent final corner right there. Pulls out another few tenths on Neymar. Really just cat and mouse right here. Gap gain and gap loss between these guys.
Yeah.
Ahead of them, it's a big gap up to the next few drivers, but ahead of them, it's really not much going on. Very even gaps between those until you get up to Hoopalicious and Ginger Horizon.
Yeah, I think we are starting to see the same thing. Very equal gaps, but if some of these front runners start to battle, that can definitely shake things up behind them.
Yep, well, Ginger Horizon there in 4th place. Hopefully looking to get around Hoopalicious right here. Looking at the chart right here, it looks like his best finish so far this season, Ginger Horizon, is 5th place. So he's running in 4th right now. That'll be a personal best on the season if he sits right where he is. But I'm sure he's going to want to get one spot higher so you can taste that champagne in approximately an hour. Now that it's raining, this race is going to be a bit longer. Oh, yellow flag sector 1 wants another phantom yellow in the first corner. Unfortunately, I don't know why we keep getting those. At least we could see on the track map where that's coming from. But either way, got to look at it as really close. His Neymar goes really wide off the racetrack right there. Zhao Pedro in the slipstream. No DRS once again due to the rain as Neon Tridome picks up a 3-second time penalty. Side by side for the final point-paying position of 10th place. Harder on the brakes is the Haas of Neymar, but that's going to allow for the better exit of Zhao Pedro. Here he is coming, but this will be the right side outside through the final corner. Let's see if he could do him. No, not even alongside as they get to the turn-in point, but Neymar goes super wide. And that's going to allow for Zhao Pedro to get another run alongside. Yes, here they are coming down the front straightaway. Who's going to back out of it right here? Neither of them as they go very hard in the... As actually looks like there was contact there, Dylan, was there not?
I saw a little bit, maybe.
I mean, Neymar's going to be able to hold on to it right here. Just the fact he was on the inside allowed him to gap Pedro as they went through turn 1. But when they came to turn 2, that really stalled his run out and bunched them right back up onto each other right here. Only 2 tenths apart.
Yeah, look at that. You're right on his bumper.
Well, I'm not too sure. I think some guys are sliding or something. It's triggering a yellow flag. Yeah. And actually, these two guys squabbling has silently let Dralix catch up right here in 12th place. He's right behind these two. Making it a 3-way battle right here. Good to have some action like this. Not too much else going on at the moment. And Dralix, once again, we'll mention this. We always do. Very clean racer. Not one to pick up many penalties. And the amount that we have seen this year so far, I mean, he could finish in 5th place. It's right now. I'm not too sure what the status of everyone is, though.
Oh, Neymar.
Oh, is Neymar? Oh no. He's disconnected.
Yeah, he's a ghost.
So Neymar is disconnected from the session. That is going to ruin this battle right here. You're just going to see Zhao Pedro fly past him right here. But it's not all over for him as Dralix is right behind. And actually, now it looks like Neymar's AI did a good job there down the back overtake. But nah, look at this. Zhao Pedro in that run is going to clip right through him, Dylan.
Yep, that's very unfortunate. It's a good battle going. Hopefully we can get him back in here soon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Neymar... Dralix right behind. He's going to be the next one to clip right through him right here. Move up into the moment. And I do think Zhao Pedro has actually gapped Dralix a little bit right here in the time that he's gotten around the Haas. It's already down 8. It's already up to 8 tenths, I should say. It was down to about 5 a second ago.
Oh, no, 3-second
Number 1
penalty.
Fit Fan picks up a 3-second time penalty. First time we've said his name tonight. Have a very quiet race down in 15th. Solid's not having the greatest of nights here. I know. I'm pretty sure he's not a huge fan of China. Could be completely wrong on that. I haven't spoken to him in a little bit, but 15th isn't where he's going to want to be. Seeing as his teammates up in 5th. And speaking of his teammate, looks like Chandler's forming a little bit of a train right here. He's got Ham Newtons right there, as well as the ghost car of Max Stalos. Visually looks like a train. And behind them, Mean Fern, also very close here.
Yeah, Ginger Horizon might be able to make a move on Hoopalicious sometime soon if he can stay in that draft.
Yeah, that's been very close. I mean, very consistent, I should say. About 5 tenths, 4 tenths, lap after lap. Looks like Ginger is getting a lot closer here right now. Not going to be able to get alongside that. Just too far back, as you said. Dylan, who do you think is looking the strongest train behind Chandler?
I don't know. I'm feeling Ham Newton. He's got the pace. If he can just put his head down and get some clean laps, I think he might be able to catch him. Oh, not with that penalty though.
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah, and actually behind them, Williams also goes super wide. That was certainly a warning for him, so close to penalties for him as well. A lot of these guys starting to pick him up as we speak. But personal experience, Ham always loves the story of our first battle in AOR America, China. He's pretty good at this racetrack, I'll tell you that much. But they're in 6th place, running right behind Chandler. I would not be surprised. Message is I would not be surprised if he gets around him here. Very good around this racetrack, as he is on most tracks that involve front-end grip, as are Hungary and France, other two of his favorites. China's one of them. Behind them, Williams and Mean Fern, a little bit closer right here, 6/10. This could be something in the coming laps right here. Not too much going on once again. Ginger Horizon seems to have lost a little bit of time on Hoopalicious, who's going for a later apex as Ginger charges up the early one. It's going to cause for a better exit there for Hoopalicious, but Ginger did a good job of getting down the power to hold that at 5/10. There's a good chance he can get around him right here. He's actually really close, coming through the snail section.
Yeah, he's got to get a good exit here.
Yeah, it's all about setting up that run. Let's see what he does here. Hugs the inside for the most part, probably where most of the grip is here in the wet. But once again, no DRS. He's relying on overtake and slipstream alone, and that is just not going to be enough to get him close enough to even think about making a move. It's unfortunate. Maybe we should have been hoping for the rain to go away.
Yeah, that was a good braking zone, but he's going to pull away on exit there.
Yeah, behind them, Chandler still holding up Ham Newton a little bit right here. Close things up in the braking zone right there, as we're actually now past halfway. Should have mentioned that. Those cross flags were there a minute ago at the conclusion of lap 14. We're now in the second half of this one. Going to be 12 to go when they hit the line this time by. For New Zealand Ryan, I think it's just about not making any mistakes. He's kind of gone.
Yeah, these long corners are very difficult in the wet, and you can see that. Almost looks like they are kind of gliding through the exit of these corners.
Well, Neon Tree Dome actually getting around Neymar right here, who is still not back in the session, unfortunately. It's like he's not going to be able to get a points finish here tonight. He's running well off that gamble of starting on the soft spot. Unfortunately, his disconnection there had to stall that momentum out as Neon Tree Dome moves up to 12th right there. Jared is going to be the next one to capitalize. Oh man, it's Jared super sideways right there coming out of turn 2. Jared not having the greatest race right here. We typically see him up at the front on the podium. He's down at 14th tonight as Draux and João Pedro are going at it right here through the middle sector. Not every day you see battling through here. He's going to sweep back to the left side here. Going to be, looks like he's going to be the better rotation there for the Renault. Yes, as he gets him done around the outside. Dylan, who do you think is going to come on top right here? These two are very tight at the moment.
We know that Pedro's fast. We know that Draux is fast. I think Draux probably has the upper hand here if he can get this good exit.
It's tough to get an exit here, though. High-speed corners means dirty air, and that's really tough. Yeah, so he loses a lot of time right there. It goes from 2 to 4/10 as they're coming out. But he is a 10th closer than Ginger was to Hoopalicious a minute ago, so there's a chance we could see a potential move here. But no, not going to be enough. Both of them using that overtake button, seemingly neither of them really closing in on one another. João Pedro runs a bit wider, bit of a worse exit for him. Oh, yeah.
Slide.
Yeah, big slide indeed. Looks like he lost it in the second phase of traction.
Be a warning there.
Yeah, as Draux actually loses a little bit of time right there. As Jared now gets around Neymar right there. Once again, he's just fallen further down the order due to that disconnection that we looked at. Do you think these inners are going to make it to the end, or are these guys going to pit for another set of the green wall?
It's hard to say. It looks like going off of New Zealand Ryan, it looks like he's having a decent time right now. Doesn't look like they're falling off too much. I guess we'll just have to see.
And if only we had the AWS tire percentage graphic.
Exactly.
We would know, of course, but we don't have that, unfortunately. But here we are, Ham Newton. Still all over Chandler Sid, and actually I say that, he's lost a little bit of time right here, so I think Chandler's been doing a good job of keeping him in that dirty air, burning off the tires a bit, as Chandler, by the way, has been catching up to Ginger Horizon here. The battle for third might not be between only two drivers of Hoop and Ginger. It looks like Chandler and Ham possibly even getting closer to them as well. Williams, too, by the way, in 7th place. He's not too far back. And Mean Fern A lot of these guys kind of just an even gap. Not too close, not too far away. Happened especially with the penalty shuffle at the end.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of it. We've already seen multiple penalties. I think Chandler does have a 3-second penalty, if I'm not mistaken, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Alpha Tauri is going to want to have a good run here tonight in their debut season here. Breakout Racing League, still 0 points on the cards, so there's Mean Fern in 8th. It'll be a solid 4 points for that team if he's able to finish in that position, but once again, he can get around anyone here. Either on track or due to penalties. Once again, we still got 10 to go. A lot of time left to make a move if he gets close enough. Is Deer Hunter and HRC? Oh no, they're not going at it. HRC has gone around. Yeah, it looks like HRC has spun out of the snail section coming on to the giant back straightaway, and he has spun to the inside of the racetrack. No damage on that car, but the damage has been done in lap time as well as tires.
Yeah, biggest L approaching this. Yeah, I think biggest L is definitely rapidly approaching HRC. Very unfortunate for him, but yeah, down at 17th today from where was he? I think he was down. I think he's up in.
And he picks up a time penalty.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so I think that
is
is secured. That is going to go to HRC. Unfortunately, down 12 positions from the start. Very unfortunate race for him. That was looking to be a good result too. He was on that the soft tires at the beginning.
Always here to give us the happy news is Dylan Beck. Thank you for that. Now you get me all nostalgic. I think the best example of biggest L award still has to be Bahrain when Alderfer completely lost
absolutely.
the sector
absolutely.
2. Absolutely. Well, that's in the past, Alderfer. If you're listening, we don't judge anymore. That was a game ago. What's in the past is in the past. Well, we're just looking back at these guys now. Not much going on once again. Not gonna lie, this has not been the race that it could have been, if you ask me. But there's still 10 to go. Anything could happen here, as it usually does.
Jared ahead of Neon Tree.
Neon Tree. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, he did get around him right there. It's good stuff. From him,
beautiful sound.
The Ferrari's having a very realistic run here. 13th and 17th. Fortunate for those guys. I mean, a long season ahead, obviously. They still have 0 points in the constructors. They've got some work to do, obviously, but as we said, long way to go. Only round 4 out of 22. We'll be here all season long to see what they can do. Jared, Jared's got 10.7 seconds up to the next car, and the next one is Dralix, a quality driver, so I don't see him getting there anytime soon.
I think we got Ginger Eyes and starting to close the gap a little bit to Hoopalicious, who was once a second.
How many times have we said that?
6/10, I know, right? It's just like an accordion effect, just back and forth. Just can't get close enough to get that move done, but yeah, hopefully we'll see some battles in the closing laps.
Yeah, reminded me again of that Bahrain race. I think the mantra that night was close, but not close enough to making a move, and that just seems to be the same deal here tonight. Once again, it's all down to losing that DRS thanks to the rain. Just very tough to get alongside down that long straightaway. Due to the car in front having a much cleaner run through the spoon section thanks to the clear air. And Hoopalish has been taking full advantage of that because Ginger has definitely been quicker through the run in the wet.
Oh, Hamdoon with a 2-second penalty there.
Oh, and Williams as well, for that matter. The two of them. So I think Williams might have followed Ham right off the racetrack wherever that happened. Very easy to do that. Here they are coming through turn 1 for the 20th time right here. Ryan has just been opening it up even more on Pirandi. 7.8 seconds is the gap. It's just been slowly increasing the whole race. Be a shame if anything happened to him. He's just been totally dominating this race. I mean, in New Zealand Ryan style, we've seen this numerous times in the past.
Yeah,
Dylan, this might be your first eyewitness of it, but get used to it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, look at that gap. He's just been increasing that gap lap after lap. Not a single foot wrong. I don't even think he's or maybe even a warning yet. I mean, he's just kind of driving at his own pace and getting that gap even bigger to Peroni.
Chandler Sada losing the back end a little bit right there, sliding out of the inside, coming up to the sector 2-3 split. Ham Newton's still behind him. BRL still behind him. Just more of the same. They are coming out of the spoon right here. Let's see if Ham can have a slightly better exit than of laps past. That was pretty solid. It's probably as good as it's going to get, though. And I tell you what, it's just not going to be enough. I mean, something crazy is going to have to happen. And speaking of something crazy, I think the rain has stopped falling.
I think you're right. I don't know if there's enough time now to switch onto those soft tires. It's going to take a little bit for this track to dry out. There's still a lot of spray.
That could be the next gamble, though. You know, stay out as it
absolutely.
gets dry. Some of these other guys might pit. I mean, what do you think would pan out there?
I think Ryan would be the first to make that call, and I think a lot of people would try and follow. You know, based on he's been leading this whole thing, but yeah, definitely. I think as long as the track dries out relatively quickly, I think some of the front runners might make the gamble to switch on the dries.
I'm just waiting for Deer Hunter to pit for hards right now.
Yeah, right.
Well, Ginger Horizon all over Hoopalicious once again. 6/10 as it's been all night. But here they are coming through that second. See, I hope this rain completely goes away. I mean, it's gone now, but I just hope the track really dries up here because that'll really shake things up here at the end. Could give us a good sprint to the finish here. Still 8 laps to go. A lot of time for things to happen if the track does fully dry out. A little bit of a dry line forming, so you'll see some drivers swerve to the left right there as Ginger Horizon does a tad bit. Maybe unintentional, lost the back end a little bit, but either way, it's going to be tough to keep those intermediates in moderate temperature, now drier.
I think the higher temperatures are going to eat up these tires more and more. They're just going to get
Jared's
overheated.
golden
Oh,
today.
look at that.
Yeah. And actually, Ginger Horizon's getting close right here, Dylan.
Oh,
Are we
going to
see an overtake?
This is his chance.
He's close. Hoopalicious goes defensive to the right. Look at how hard he was on the brakes right there. Ginger Horizon to the left side. Will he get the better rotation?
Oh, he's got the
yes,
inside
he
line.
will. He does get the better rotation. And no, there's a yellow flag. Is that going to cancel the battle out? No, it doesn't. Ginger up to third. Excellent move right there. Just when you thought nothing was going to happen all race long, he got it done. He was so patient. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, Hoopalicious isn't done yet, though. He's going to try and get the move done. He's still right on his rear bumper there.
Yeah, I think we're going to see DRS activated here very shortly as well. Once the rain's out, I mean, we typically see that DRS become an option once again. That could be coming very short. Let's to go right now. And Hoopalicious, yeah, he's going to have to put his head down, try and get that position back. He was running third the whole race almost, just for Ginger to take it here on lap 21.
Yeah, Pirani, sorry, that is the Ferrari of HRC. I thought that was Pirani. I was gonna say. I was like, wow, he's actually getting some view on him.
Yep, HRC a little bit too. The leader got way off the racetrack right there. I mean, if you're gonna get out of the way, that's a hell of a way to do it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh man, oof.
And that's the nail in the coffin right there. Yeah.
That's the. Oh geez, I forgot that we gave him that.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, not the
That
greatest
seals
night
the deal.
for HRC. Yeah, not the greatest night, but once again, long season ahead of him.
Look at that. That long corner is just so difficult to be in the dirty air, like we were talking about earlier. But he could have a chance here. Not too far back.
I think Ginger really used up a lot of that overtake when he got the move done, but
yeah,
he was able to have another burst of it right there to be able to get there to make a move. Very interesting to see if he can't get back around him. The track is drying out considerably now, a lot less spray. You actually don't see much water at all on the racetrack. Still a little bit greasy, but oh no. Has FinFan just wrecked? I think he has.
Look
He
at
put
that.
on the softs. He was the first one to do it. He put on the soft
Wow.
tires, and he is wrecked out of the race.
I guess that shows us what not to do.
Yeah, HRC's also on dries, by the way. He put on mediums, and he's just all over the shop right now as he spins himself.
Yeah, once
it is
again,
not time
another terrible decision from HRC there, unfortunately.
If there's anything that proves it wasn't time for the dry tires, I think yeah, FinFan and HRC are that. So they've both gone around. One of them has DNF'd. No safety car, interestingly enough, is actually now Jail Pedro, in spite of the spins that we have just seen, has come in to put on the Red Wall soft tires. Let's see how that plays out for him, as DRS still hasn't even been enabled. And that's typically because dry enough. Behind him, Dralix has also put on soft, so you think this is going to pay off for these guys? They're fishtailing on the pit exit. Oh man, as Dralix actually almost loses it right there.
Wow. Yeah, I got 5 laps left. It's going to be a close call.
Oh no.
I'm sorry,
that's
you can't help but laugh at that one. That's very, very unfortunate for him.
In the pits, though, so that will not trigger anything right there. So sportsmanship from HRC. But still, this is looking very odd right here. It's a point where it's just not dry and it's also not wet. I don't think anyone's happy right here because Ryan just major slide coming out of turn 2.
No, there's definitely not the perfect time for dries, but also these wets, like we said earlier, are going to get eaten up by this as the track dries. They're just going to get hotter and hotter and just more slick.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at Zhao Pager right here. Looks like he's doing rather well here on the softs. Not all over the place. As Pirandi, by the way, in the pits here, he's putting on his softs. Going to come out in 7th place.
Hoopalicious right on the bumper of Ginger there, though. Look at that.
I was going to say, they are only 2/10 apart right here, coming out of turn number 2. Ginger going for that wider exit, typically gives a better exit, and yes, it does.
That wet spot right there.
Yeah, that was good positioning right there from Ginger Horizon. He's gonna have to be positioning that car rather well these last few laps. And Dylan, I think these guys might be pitting not because they think it's soon enough for the drives, but I think these intermediates are really starting to fall off for some of these drivers.
For sure. I mean, they've already done 14 laps. It's not a bad idea. I think New Zealand Ryan is gonna have to make the call shortly, and we've only got about 4 laps left. So if you can wait those 4 laps and see if he can. Oh, DRS enabled right there. So.
Yep, I think that's all the proof we need that the track is drying out. Stewards believe so.
Time.
Yeah, I'll take that word. So. Yeah, it is dry now. Dry conditions back on the racetrack here in China. Lap 24 out of 28. 5 to go at the moment. 4 once Ryan
there he goes
the
in the pits, New Zealand Ryan.
Yep, there we go. Is anyone going to stay out? Is it worth it? You're going to lose, I'd say maybe over 5 seconds a lap if you stay on those intermediates. But is that enough to be able to hold on if you stay out here? I would not be shocked if I see someone try and go the distance on the greens.
Ryan already come out of the pits.
Yep, and actually now behind him looks like they're falling. Ginger almost doing a Lewis Hamilton right there. As Hoopalicious gets past him, he's able to get the move done on the pit entry. As Neil Chandler has left the session. What's happened to him?
I have absolutely no idea. He stayed out.
Oh no, that's awful for Chandler. Oh man, that is really bad for Chandler right there. Let's try and send an invite right here.
There we go. We got Pirandi has also stayed out on the softs there. Or he pitted earlier, didn't he? So he's up in the 3rd.
Yeah, he is up in the 3rd right here. I mean, he was running 2nd the full race. Yeah, I think he's going to be moved up into 2nd once he gets around Chandler right here. And Chandler is going to be, he's going to be fuming right here after that disconnection. Having such a solid race. Here he is joining back after sending the invite.
He's still on those intermediate tires, though.
Yeah, exactly. His AI did not pit for him, so that's really unfortunate. He's going to lose even more time than he already would by being a ghost car. By 18 seconds of the car behind, is that enough? As actually the car behind isn't just one car behind, it's 2 side by side between Ginger Horizon and Hoopalicious. These guys are going at it once again through the middle sector. As Ginger's going to be able to come out on top right there after Hoop had gotten the move back done on the pit entry right there after Ginger almost threw it in the wall. Like Hamilton in 2007 in that gravel trap. So unfortunate for Ginger, but he was able to fight back and grab it. So that's some good stuff from the McLaren.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this Ginger and Hoop battle. It's been pretty much the most entertaining battle of this race. They've just been going back and forth over and over again.
Yep, here we are coming out onto the big back straightaway. Williams, who's been lurking all race behind Ham Newton, has actually gotten around Ham in the pit stop cycles, and he's now charging up Hoopalicious right here, potentially going to make a move when they hit the line. 3 to go. That's a lot of time to make a move right here, especially now that we have DRS enabled. We should be seeing a lot more shuffling here in the order. It's Chandler pits. Oh, his tire blew. Left front tire blew for Chandler right there. Oh, man. That's going to be even more time lost. Really unfortunate for him. He was having such a solid night.
Yeah, just very unlucky there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than convinced that was a disconnection. And the AI just really did not do him any favors right there by not saying but. So what he's going to have to deal with. He's coming out in 8th place, 9th place, mind me. Yes, he will come out ahead of Zhao Pedro, interestingly enough. So see if he can hold on to that 9th spot right there. Possibly get up to Beedunk, by the way. He's had a very quiet race. Remember, he got spun earlier. To be 8th right now, I give a little bit of credit there to Beanock.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was great to come back into the points. And Ginger Eisen up in 3rd. He's also going to get some good points from McLaren if he stays in that position.
Yep, he was lurking behind Hoopless the whole race, as you guys probably or definitely saw. He is in 3rd now, was able to get the move done right before the track went to full dry conditions. Impressive there from him. We didn't see much overtaking at all in that phase of the race if you're just tuning in. But it is 3 to go, 2 to go once Ryan hits the line right here very shortly, approaching the final corner. Behind him, Pirandi, 3.7 seconds. So I will say Ryan lost a lane from wet to dry. I think it was like an 8-second gap there between 1st and 2nd, down 3.5. Not enough for Pirandi to close in, but still, it just goes to show how much that undercut worked for Pirandi.
Yeah, for sure. I think we also got to keep in mind we got to make sure that New Zealand Ryan doesn't have any penalties because he's got to keep that gap over 3 seconds if he wants to keep that lead.
Yeah, well, that is true. Does Pirandi have a penalty?
I'm not sure.
Real quick, though. Yeah, really good to know because this could actually be a battle for the win right here. Only 5/10 apart if Pirandi really doesn't have a warning or penalty, I mean, right here. Let's see what happens. You have the midfield right here. Hoopalicious still 6/10 there. Has started to gap the Red Bull there. 1.7 now. And Ham Newton is not close enough at the moment to make a move at all on Williams, so he's going to have to put his head down on a good lap here because it's only 1 to go and they hit the line this time.
Looking at the race director here, I don't see anything for Pirandi.
Into the 3.9 though, so a lot more difficult there for Pirandi if he is going to win this race. He's going to really have to put his head down and put out a masterful lap on the final. 3.7 now, so fluttering back and forth a little bit between those two as he clips right through Neymar's car right there. It's got an unfortunate night for him. Haas also one of the scoreless teams, not going to be good for them tonight as well. 0 points on the season so far. Only around 4 of those we've said, as the white flag is now out for New Zealand Ryan. It is 1 lap to go, lap 28 out of 28. He's got to negotiate this track one more time. It's got to be clean, though. Any more penalties, and he will lose to Pirandi. As you said, he has no penalties. So let's see what Ryan can do on this final. The midfield. Oh, looks like Chandler and João Pedro going at it a little bit right here.
Yeah,
yes, they are. Yeah, Chandler came out. Oh, man, bad run through there. Went in a little deep, did Chandler. That's really going to exit. And yes, he will get past. There is a full lap. It's tough, though. Pirandi's João Pedro, mind me, is very quick. Both these runners. Chandler, I feel bad for the guy. Was that disconnect way ahead of this guy?
Yeah, for sure. There's another battle potential here.
Yeah, just taking a look. Looks like Ham Newton has closed it in as well. He's brought it from 1.4 to 7/10. Coming up on Williams on the final lap. Yeah, but either way, Ryan is coming through the penultimate and approaching the final corner. I got to highlight him right here in China. Coming through the final corner. He's extended the gap even more than it needed to be. 5.1 ahead of Pirandi. Checkered second win of the season. Good stuff for him right there as Pirandi finishes in 2nd. Another podium for his campaign. Ginger Horizon coming out of the hairpin. Going to be his first podium of the season. 2 best finishes of 5th coming into tonight.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at the battle right here. BRL.
Yeah, looking down the inside of Hoopalicious. He's going to get him. But does he have a penalty across the line? Yes, he does. Hoopalicious will hold on to 4th. Williams 5th, but he gave us something to cheer for there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just wish it counted, right? I mean, that was excellent there. Not too many moves made in that final corner. Not much of a corner, to be fair. Don't see a lot of overtaking there, but he got it done on track. Unfortunately, not for the position. Looking down the rest of the tables, VSR Jogs will lock out the points finishers in 10th as Chandler, yes, will finish in 11th. Did Chandler spin? No, I think it was penalties. We've said it. Drought is super clean, and he's he's gotten his. Because he is behind on track right now. Behind
so
Chandler
no
by
points.
A substantial amount, actually.
No points for Sauer.
Yeah, so no points for Chandler. Say that's a tough one to swallow. Well, let's see who the game gives driver of the day. If we disagree with that, we'll make our decisions here in a second. Ginger Horizon, I could agree with that.
I agree.
There you go. Yeah, Ginger Horizon driver of the day. I think he should actually get the award for most patient driver of the day because I swear he was looking at the gearbox of Hoopalicious for about 90% of the laps here tonight. And there they are, your podium finishers up there, up top. New Zealand Ryan hosting that trophy up once again. Second time this season, back-to-back wins coming off of his victory at Vietnam after 2 second-place finishes before that at Melbourne and Bahrain. So good stuff for him to go back-to-back right here. It's not good for the competition, though, because when he gets hot, he just rolls with it and wins a lot of races. So they're going to have to hope this is the last for a while for him. Either way, the rest of the podium finishers there was Pirandi as well as Ginger Horizon getting his first of the season, as mentioned. And look at that, 17th to 3rd. Yeah, he's driver of the day. He is driver.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't even know he started that far back. Well, Dylan, if you could take us through the finishing order, that would be excellent.
All right, so we got New Zealand Orion with the win then. BRL Pirandi coming in second. Behind we got Ginger Horizon, followed by Hoopalicious, BRL Williams, ERS Ham Newton, Mean Fern, Bedunk, Pedro, VSR Dralix, Chandler Seda, Neon Tridome, Deer Hunter, BRL Neymar, followed by Jared, Max, Num1 Fin Fan, HRC, the wonderful driver he is, and Boss Cookie.
Yeah, not a good one for Boss Cookie, but either way, that'll round it out for the race here tonight. And Ryan actually did not appear to have a penalty. I think he might have had a stop go, and he served it on that stop because it did not appear that he had a time penalty there in the timetables at the end. It's a little bit less tight than we thought it was there at the end. The race was really just done and dusted for him from the get-go. He ran away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is now time for those podium interviews as per usual at the end of the race. Yeah, we'll get those guys in here right now. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Good crowd here tonight from China. May not have been the most eventful race in the world, but always good to have the support from you guys back at home. Let's get them in the party now. All right, send the invite to Ryan right there. Pirandi, let's get him in here as well. All right, Ryan has joined the party, and Dylan, if you could send Ginger the invite, that would be excellent.
Yep, sure thing.
All right, thank you. Well, Ryan is in the party now. It's going to be back-to-back wins for him. Coming off of Vietnam, a good run, and before that was 2 second-place finishes. So you have not been off the podium once this season. How's it feel to get off to a hot roll like this?
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously, there's a bit of glitches and stuff going on in that race, so I guess I was lucky I didn't disconnect or whatever. But yeah, got lucky with the tyres as well, because the intermediates were on 76% when I stopped, so that could have been very bad. But yeah.
Did you have to, what is it? We noticed there was a big time loss in the pit stops when you came in, in respect to Pirandi. It went from about 8 seconds down to 3.5. Was there a penalty that you had to serve that we were maybe not aware of?
No, Jared pitted like 20 seconds before I did, so we got held by the crew. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been bad.
Well, fortunately, it wasn't there. Pirandi in second place. Looks like you two are the class of the field so far this season. Solidly 1-2 in the standings right now. Now you've got a 13-point gap on him going to next week at the Netherlands, a track that'll be new to BRL. What do you expect going into a new racetrack? Is it going to be testing the waters, or has everyone just got that track down enough at this point?
I think everyone will be fine. I'm not sure I'll be as fast as I was around here or Vietnam, but we will see.
Yeah, of course. Well, congratulations on the finish here tonight. Not too crazy to see you here up on top of the podium, but always good to have you here. Congratulations on that. See you next week in Zandvoort.
Cheers.
All right, so it looks like Pirandi does not appear to be accepting the invite to the party. Not too sure why. So we'll just move on to our third place finisher here tonight in Ginger Horizon. His first podium on the season after coming off of 2 fifth-place finishes. Fourth would have been nice, but third's all the better. How does it feel to get around Hoopalicious? You were behind him all race.
Yeah, I was just so my setup was like pretty like high downforce, so I couldn't overtake him